It's disappointing in terms of the result, but it's not something that we'll dwell on too much. It's about what we take out of today, things to work on that we need to address, and then some of the positives as well from today, and then making sure that performance is next week's an improvement on today.
How worried are you about Gareth Amscombe?
I spoke to the physio. He said, look, he's got to get a scan. He said if it's if it's just a strain of the ligament, then he'll be out for a few weeks. But obviously, we'll know more details after the scan.
Is that a benefit, I guess, of naming your squad later? You've got time to assess it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be naming my team on Monday, I can tell you that. But we've got a couple more games together, and a few more weeks training as well.
What's Justin Tipper meant he came off?
He just got a ankle was a bit like a slight roll on the ankle, so I don't think it's an issue.
Did they show you how much you probably need these games?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think, look, we went into the Six Nations with a strategy against England, and we implemented that pretty well and was effective. Today we played differently, and we're trying to work out things. And England, to me, were, they did what England are really good at. Their scrum was excellent. They drove the line out as well. They were pretty direct in the way they played. So we've got a few things to tidy up on that and to negate that. But they've scored a try from our errors and intercept, and we need to be a bit more accurate on attack. So at half time we addressed a few things. I think we're a lot better in the second half, and but from our point of view, and we think those things are pretty fixable. You stop them getting some momentum and driven lineouts. So something that we'll work on this week, and the scrum as well, and that's 90% of their game. So we understand that, and we will be a lot better for that.
Well, if you have won today, you'd have been number one in the world officially tomorrow. Was that spoken about at all?
No, not really. I think some people had mentioned it yesterday. It's not. I think the biggest thing, it's just, that's a nice accolade in terms of number one in the world. I think the biggest prize for everyone is in a couple of months' time in Japan. Whoever wins the World Cup's the number one team in the world.
Alun, would it be fair to say you were a bit rusty today? And is that just where you would be this time of year?
Probably, but we can't rely on that. It feels like an excuse saying that. We prepared well, and in the past we've had these meetings, questions after Six Nations autumns where we've started poorly. You could probably say we started poorly in this year's Six Nations, but did pretty well in the end. So yeah, like Gath said, there's things to address, but we'd like to think they're all fixable. And probably the buzzword for me was probably momentum. When you put pressure on line-out time, we probably felt we were pressuring them a lot, but we didn't convert that pressure. And likewise at set-piece time, scrum time, when they had a good foundation, we were chasing the ad line to try and stop their momentum. So there's things that we can clearly work on for next week.
In many ways, will it make training next week a little bit easier because you know what you've got to fix?
It's never easy, but when you start the season with an international, you're straight into it, and we've got a little bit fortunate enough to have another opportunity next week. Our review and preview processes are going to be exactly the same because we're straight into it, like I say.
Well, how was Gareth Amscombe afterwards? Because obviously he was on crutches. How were his spirits?
I haven't spoken to him. Yeah.
Warren, what did you make of the way that you obviously went about trying to solve the problems that England had caused you early on, obviously going down 14? There's somewhere to come back from. How do you think that?
Yeah, no, look, they've started they went well. I mean, just disappointing thing for me was the try on half time where we've the overthrow. So, and we've got back into the game at 24-19. I thought we were going to win from there. We started creating a lot of momentum and things. So, I was pleased with that. I said if you don't go into, if you go in at 14-7 down and you score first after half time, Dan's missed the conversions at 14-12. It just changes the whole complexion of the game, and they took their 3 points. We need to look at ourselves in terms of a few penalties we gave away around the fringes, and so we need to address that. Some soft 3 points. But yeah, after a poor start, we've kind of got a little bit into the speed of the game, and were able to impose ourselves. Where what was disappointing probably in that first half was just, in terms of being rusty, just too many turnovers, which we didn't keep possession for long enough periods and create the momentum that we needed to. So I think one of the stats from our analysts were that almost every time we made a break during the game, the result of the next ruck was that next cut rucks were either scored or it was a turnover. So we need to be a little bit better in that, and I'm sure that we will be.
Alun Wyn, sorry. Can I ask you, what impressed you most about the way England played, particularly their pack?
Just like I said, momentum. It's relatively simple, isn't it? If you steady scrum, steady maul, you've got momentum around the corner, and we're chasing, and they capitalised on that. We probably negated a bit more of it later on after that first 30 minutes, but you don't really want to be chasing that game, which we potentially were, particularly end of that first half.
Thomas Wynn's pulled out before. How's his shoulder?
He's been scanned on Monday too.
Outside of Gareth and Thomas, is it clean bill of health from today then?
Yeah, pretty much. I think Adam Beard's got a bit of a wrist strain, but that's he's been X-rayed and that was clear.
Is the plan, and you've referenced the 6-day turnaround like the World Cup, is the plan to go pretty fully loaded again on Saturday?
Yep.
Warren, your illustrious counterpart, Mr. Jones, suggested that World Rugby's got to get its act together regarding the head-high tackles, and he said that Scott Barrett's sending up this was a bit of a nonsense. So if you look at the video today, there were some inconsistencies. You got any thoughts on that?
No.
Fair enough.
I don't want my name in headlines around the world, so making a comment. So.
On that note, thank you very much.